Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, and it is actually afternoon.
It is. We are, all right, we should just start with our normal stuff. Welcome to the Must Love Yarn podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We are coming to you from our yarn store in Shelburne, Vermont. And it is Thursday, May 24th.
Mm-hmm. 24th.
Yeah. Wow. And there goes May.
I know. The 1st of June is next week.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
It's next Friday.
And I'm Angela.
I was going to say, and who are you?
I have no idea today. I don't know.
She's Angela.
I'm here.
I'm Kelly.
So that's
Hi here.
Hi. So you can find the store out on all kinds of social media as Must Love Yarn, and we're pretty much everywhere as Must Love Yarn.
Our own website where you
Yep.
can find the yarns we're going to show you in a little bit.
Yep.
As well as show notes.
Yep.
Other things like that.
Yep.
All on our website, and also Facebook, Ravelry, Instagram, etc., as Must Love Yarn.
Yes. And you can find me out on social media as Junior Bird Kid on Instagram and Ravelry.
And you can find me on Instagram as Kelly O Spins, and you can find me on Ravelry as Kelly Spins. And feel free to follow us, either our personal accounts or the store account. Any and all of them. We love to see what you guys are working on. So
Absolutely. And some great stuff out there on particularly Instagram.
Mm-hmm. And thanks for everybody who's been tagging us in their projects, because I love seeing them. And I'm not always as good about checking the hashtags.
Yeah.
Because you can follow hashtags, but they don't always pop up the way Instagram does their feeds now. You don't always see everything. So it's kind of nice when we get tagged, because then we definitely see stuff that you guys are working on.
Right, we get more of a notification then.
Yeah.
Yep. Which is great. In fact, somebody, I just totally blanked, I could look it up, tagged us on. She was watching the podcast sitting outside knitting. And that was cool. Because otherwise I may have not seen that post.
Yeah.
So
Julie? I think it was Julie.
Yeah. Yes. So we start our podcast with our pick of the week. And if you're new to the podcast, so what we do every week is pick, Kelly and I each pick something that we offer 10% off on our online store, or if you come into the store, you just need to remind us, hey, this was a pick of the week.
Yep.
And you get 10% off for 2 weeks. So it's a pretty good deal. We did a tutorial in episode 73 about where the coupon code goes.
Yep.
And it's got its own special place, and I put it down at the bottom of the screen. Actually, I think it ends up over here.
Yeah, it's the very last part at checkout where you put it in, where you're doing the payment and all that information.
Yep.
There's a spot where you put it. Don't put it in the show notes or the comments. The comments or notes section.
No.
Because it will not get applied. If you don't see it getting applied to your cart, it hasn't
been.
You should see a thing where it says discount, and then it'll show the amount.
Yep.
So we were for a while retroactively going in and refunding people if they didn't get the discount. That costs us money. We can't keep doing that. So make sure that you see that discount coming off.
Yep. And if it's not either the code isn't right or it's not in the right place.
Yeah. So definitely feel free to call the store or to email us before you hit submit. Because if you hit submit, there's not much we can do about it.
Exactly.
After the fact.
Exactly. So do you want to go with your pick?
My pick of the week? Absolutely.
I think yours is probably a little shorter.
Mine is really mine's really short. So I figured I would do something a little different. I'm not going to do yarn for my pick of the week, which is something that we do on occasion. I've done project bags in the past and different things. So my pick of the week is making number 5. So number 5, which is the color issue, is the most recent one that was released. So you can get, it retails for $24, and it's a great magazine that has knitting, it's got sewing, it's got embroidery, it's got recipes usually, it's got a little bit of everything, and we showed a lot of it when they first came in. So there's some really great, there's like a backpack pattern there that's really cute.
That is cool.
Nice little day pack. So it's got some weaving,
A little bit of
quilting.
everything.
Yeah, it's got if you enjoy doing a lot of different fiber arts, not just fiber arts,
Right.
but it's mostly geared towards fiber arts. But there's, natural dyeing and eco dyeing, little scarf pattern in here. There's a really pretty hat. So there's a lot of stuff in here. So you can get 10% off Making Magazine. And it's just the most recent issue that we're doing that on.
Yep.
There's a really pretty mosaic shawl.
We do have issues 1 through 4 as well. So
Yep, so if you're missing any of them, you can add them to your collection.
I was apparently missing issue number 1.
Were you?
Yeah. So I fixed that.
Yeah, so that's my pick of the week. Short and sweet, but I love this sweater. I want to do this sweater. It's a little colorwork sweater.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's really lovely. So.
All right. And so what should we use for our coupon code here?
Making Modern.
Weekly pick Making Modern.
Making Modern.
It's
and you'll see why.
All one word. Everything together. All right. Okay. So, my pick of the week. This is week number 2 of having inspiration from some patterns. So, we have the summer tea knit-along going. It goes through the end of July. I know last week I said, this is my last one. Guess what? It's not, guys.
She lied.
La 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 la. All right. Isn't that cool?
That's very cool.
Okay, so my pick of the week this week is Barocco Modern Cotton.
That's where the Making Modern part comes in.
Yep. This is not their DK weight. This is more of a worsted weight. It is a cotton
Viscose,
rayon viscose blend. And because it's a Barocco, it's incredibly affordable. It's $8.50 per skein, 209 yards per skein. And we have a basket full of colors. Beautiful colors.
Some great neutrals, some bright pops. There's a lot of...
And I may not even be able to get through all of these. So
Here, I'll grab a handful.
grab a handful. Lovely, stunning. Yeah, look at that rainbow of cotton.
A lot of different... I love that kind of this gold
I think
color.
when I
It's
was
really pretty.
pulling the information, we have like 14 different colors, I think, or something crazy like
got a
that.
lot of 'em.
This beautiful teal. It's kind of showing blue, but it's really more of like a
Soft
tealy
purple.
color.
That's pretty.
I
love this gold.
Yeah. Well, and like we have, look, like,
That'd be fun to do like a stripey...
oh my gosh, you totally
Something.
could. And you know what? It would work with one of these patterns. So I found these 2 patterns that I think are super cool. So the first one's called Battersea. So it's this cute little t-shirt, and it looks like it has options for both long sleeved and short sleeved, with sort of a cable detail on the top, and then the back part's lower. So it just would have a nice fit, sort of hug the
That's
body.
how that derecha that I did has that
Mhm.
nice curved hemline in the back.
Yeah.
And it comes down lower.
Yep. So this one, actually, the pattern itself calls for 100% silk, but there was somebody who knit this out of the modern cotton, and that the photography on that one, it looked really nice, which is why it caught my eye. So that one's out there. I've linked this in the show notes. The other one I found was Church Mouse Yarns has a pattern called Easy Folded Poncho, and 2 or 3 people have made it out of the modern cotton. So most of the samples looked like they took 2 or 3 different colors. So that sort of stripy kind, you could make it look really nice. So I linked both to this specific pattern or project page because she has listed out how much of each color she used. And then I also linked in the show notes to the actual pattern itself. So if either of those catch your eye, or you've been wanting to try the modern cotton for a garment or a throw or something, get 10% off the next 2 weeks.
Sweet.
So
yeah, it's a nice yarn. It has a
Yeah.
lot of drape to it.
yeah.
So yeah, it's a mercerized cotton with the rayon in it, so it has that really kind of smooth finish.
Mhm. Yeah, just something a little bit different. You know, if folks don't want to knit with a smaller cotton yarn but still want to do a summer tee, it would definitely be a little bit heavier. But, you know, like up in a climate like this, you're going to get a lot of wear out of it, sort of on the edges, except for maybe in the blazing hotness of summer.
Well, that little poncho that you showed, I mean, that's a great piece to have.
Like to take to restaurants where they blast air conditioner, because it would be cotton, so it's not going to be super hot, and you could just pull it over your head.
And it's going to cover, you know, your neck and your shoulders, which is usually what, you know, where you get a chill.
Yep.
But leave your arms free to.
Yep, absolutely.
To eat.
The important stuff. So, anyway, so that's my pick of the week, the Barocco Modern Cotton.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Do you have any FOs?
No,
Me either.
I don't.
Nope, me either.
I did break up with one of my projects, though.
Uh-oh.
Yep. Should I talk about that? Because that was super fun.
Sure. Do
That
we
was
want to
super
hear
fun.
about it?
You do.
Okay.
Because it involves yarn barf. For anybody that doesn't know, yarn barf is when, like, your whole skein gets all, like, tangled up into, like, a giant disaster. So.
Small yarn barf is when you pull, like, from a center skein and it just kind of pulls a big blop out. So yours was major.
Yeah. So I finished the back of
Ooh.
Insouciant.
Beautiful.
Yay. Yay back.
Yeah.
Yay back. So I finished the back, and what I should have done out of the gate, so this is knit out of the Juniper Moon Findlay.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Which is a lace weight held double.
Yes. I should have taken a page out of Kelly's playbook, and I should have taken the two skeins, and I should have wound them together into a cake. That's what I should have done. I managed to get the back knit. I got the front cast on and one row done, and it became very clear that at least one of the skeins was falling apart. So I thought, all right, I'm going to rip this out, which I did, and I'm going to go put it on my ball winder, and I'm going to wind them together, which I started twice. So I had a little tiny one that I managed, and then it was just so tangled and knotted that I had to break the yarn. So I broke it on both because I'm trying to rewind it. So I got it out as far as I could, and I thought I'd got it all done. And then I managed to get this much caked back up again before I had to break the yarn again because it was just so knotted up on itself that it wasn't going to happen. I'm probably going to end up having to buy another skein because I'm not sure that I should have taken some pictures because it was pretty epic.
Oh, no.
It was pretty epic. So it's gone into timeout, and it's still set up like on the ball winder and like a giant mess. It's in our room that I can shut up, so it's not, because the cats would probably get in there and be like, "Woo!" Is
That'd
this for
be
us?
even bigger mess. I know, right?
And so I just
There'd
kind of
be like holes through it.
I know.
Chunked.
I know. So I just walked away because I could feel myself getting so frustrated, and I just was like, I have to just not.
Yeah.
I can't deal with this. So it's in a little bit of a timeout. I'm debating whether I want to start. So if I start the front with this, I know I don't have enough. So I'll have to join another ball.
Yeah.
Or I could just, assuming we have a skein of this left in the store, do that, cake it up, and then save this for the sleeves, and then throw away the rest of it. Don't even have to deal with it. That option is in the realm of possibilities at this point.
Yep.
So we'll see. So stay tuned.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Which is it's totally my own fault. It really is, because I had 2 skeins of that yarn in this project bag next to each other, and I'm pulling like this, and they're just rolling around with each other in the bag.
Yeah, if you had put each one in a Ziploc or something like that.
Yeah. This is a self-created problem that could have been avoided.
And now you have to pay the price.
And now I'm paying the price.
Yeah.
Dang it. So, what are you going to do? The pattern was great. I'm enjoying it. It's a fun knit.
Yeah.
It's not the pattern. It's not the yarn. The yarn's fantastic. It's just I'm having yarn management issues. And so it's in a timeout. Maybe this weekend, it's a long weekend, I'll figure out what I'm going to do.
Yeah, figure out if it's salvageable and then go from there.
Yeah. Exactly. So there was that.
Oh boy.
Yay.
Oh boy.
So I kind of have that as a half finished object since the back's done.
Yeah, nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. And it's in pieces so that if you can save that, you don't have to worry about having lots of ends kind of woven through your project. You can pull them up through the seams and you won't even see it, especially on a lace weight that you're knitting at a looser gauge.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Exactly. So you're making some progress there on your...
I am. So I'll show this. I can't remember where it was last time, so I just put my progress marker. Oh, jeez. Got fluff coming everywhere. So I am. It's kind of slow going. I've got a couple of projects that I've got. One I finished up for a customer, and another one that I have to finish, and that one's going to be a little bit of a bigger one. But it's coming. So that's the front. There's the back. The back is longer.
Yep.
So and there's my cute little progress keeper that Ange got me. Look at the little.
So cute. It's a rainbow
frosted donut.
Rainbow donut.
It's awesome. And it's bright because I figured I needed something bright and cheery because this is just kind of plain brown, which is fine because I like brown, but you know. So I'm kind of just plugging away on that.
Nice.
It won't be too long and I'll be at where I have to separate. So you knit up to where the sleeves are and then you separate the back on the front and you knit the front or the back, one or the other, doesn't matter. And then you seam the rest, so you seam for this underneath on the sleeves and then the tops.
Okay.
So
cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
is it the little cap sleeve that's incorporated from, or drop sleeve kind of?
Yeah, I've got to take a look at it, and I haven't, surprisingly, but I haven't read ahead in this pattern, but I know. So I think you add on stitches on either side, and so you knit out. So you're still knitting it just across, but you're knitting out a little bit of more space.
There seems to be a lot of summer tops that are doing that, where it's sort of more of like a box. So when the sleeve kind of drops down, like it'll hit you like here. So it's just a little tiny sleeve that you didn't really have to do as a sleeve.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So and it is, it's a little bit more oversized, so that it will feel more like a sleeve when you're wearing it. So.
Oops, got to talking. I wasn't paying attention.
Uh-oh.
This is decrease row on my gusset. So I've been working on my sock here, guys. My jelly roll sock. This is number 2. Making progress. The heel's been turned. Just doing my gusset decreases. So maybe I'll have a finished object next week.
Excellent.
That would be cool.
I know.
So
I was hoping to have one this week, but
yeah.
And you'll see why in a minute.
I did, however, given the timeout situation, I did cast on for changes.
You did?
I did.
Awesome.
Finally, I've only been yammering on about it for ever and ever.
I didn't really work on mine much this past week.
And look at how far I am.
I am. I was like, what? Are you done the first whole, center panel?
At 5%.
That's really pretty, though.
Thank you.
The yarn is
so
pretty.
this is the yarn that I'm using for the center. It's really pretty speckly, but most of my contrast yarns are more solid.
That's kind of what I did, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, yes, I'm I'm 5 rows in.
Sweet.
Yep.
That center panel went really quickly for me. I had that
Good.
done in a couple days.
Good. That's what I'm hoping. Because I needed a change.
It's really intuitive. Like, you don't even really have to think about it.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
You know what? I like those. I had cast on one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even bother to bring it. I didn't even list it in the show notes. So, because anybody who follows me on Instagram saw that I knit with a stupid tail again.
It was so funny. Andrea, where she's like, did you see what Angela did? And I was like, no, because it hadn't come up in my feed yet. And she's like, and I was like, what? Well, I know she knit with the tail last time. I'm like, she couldn't have done that again because, she did that last time.
No.
And Andrea started laughing so hard. It was so funny.
No, I did it again. I even, when I cast it on, pulled the tail and was like, okay, remember, you can't knit with it. Put it aside. And then I clearly got distracted with something else, came back to it, and just got not even halfway around. And I was like, really? Really? I haven't even bothered to pull that one out yet. It just went back in the bag, and I was like, I'm so...
Oh boy.
I was casting on. I was going to cast on the little sock arms sweater.
Oh yeah, that's really cute.
Yeah, I was gonna make one for Abigail, and I was using I have some Fiber Stash. It's her Twinkle Toes base. I think it's a Great Scott colorway. That's the lighter gray one. So I was gonna use that as the body, and then I found some self-striping yarn in my stash that was BB8 colorway, so it's like orange and grays and whites, and both of my kids are like obsessed with Star Wars, so I thought, oh, that'll be cool. I'll make this. And also I've been listening a lot to the Knitmore girls, and so Jasmine's been working on the same kind of sweater for one of her kids, and so I was like, I'm gonna go hunt up my BB8 yarn. I know I have some here. But now I'm rethinking, I'm like, do I really want to donate this yarn to a child that's going to grow out of it? I may still use the gray. I might go hunt through my stash. I think I might have some Patton's Croy self-striping that I might use for the arms, just because, they grow out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not like, I like to use things that are nice for my kids as well, but at the same time, it's not like they're gonna get adult wear out of stuff.
Yeah.
So I might check through my stuff. I have a bunch of the Patton's Croy and just see what I have for colors and if anything would go well with the Great Scott. But again, it got put in a timeout because operator error. It's not even the yarn. Nothing. I hadn't even been drinking. Like. I had 0 wine. It was a school night, I
I
think.
think it was funny that you had to qualify that.
I know. Ridiculous. Whatever.
Yeah.
Such is life.
So I was hoping to have a finished object, but I didn't. So I started. We carry Wonderland yarns, and they're a Vermont-based company. They're in Brattleboro.
I have a ton of cool kits.
They have just the coolest. Their yarns are so soft. So we carry some fingering weight yarns from them, and then we also carry just a lot of kits. So, because they do some really fun patterns. They put all of the colors together, and then in the ball band that they wrap it with, they put the pattern on the back. So it's kind of fun because there's a lot of people that come in who are on vacation, especially in the summer, and they want a grab and go that they just have to add needles to, and their kits are great for that, and they do beautiful colors. And this is one, so they do these randomness hat kits, and they also have one called the Parfait Cowl, where they just put colors together and then you get a random assortment of them.
Nice.
So we do have these up on the website, but they're not listed by color because every time we order from them we get a different variety. So a lot of times we'll just have people tell us what they what colors they absolutely either love or hate, and we'll try to,
do the best we can.
Sometimes I'll send them pictures of the ones that we do have in stock, and then they can pick from them.
Nice.
Which is what I did with somebody this week who ordered the Parfait cowl, which is very similar to this. This is going to be a hat. This is the Randomness hat kit. And it's just a striping. So there's 3 colors you get 3 colors, and then the little pattern on the ball band, which I don't think I brought over here, but it's just a regular little cardstock ball band, and then it just has the order of the stripes basically that you use for it. So, but these colors were really bright and fun, so I figured I'd make up a little sample for the store so people could see what the hat looks like.
And I used their yarn to knit the spring into summer shawl.
Part of it, yeah.
Yeah, part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Carol just finished hers.
I saw hers.
Isn't
it
it
was
stunning?
gorgeous.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
so she used a mini skein kit from them, and actually it was like a combo kit. So it was one full skein and then a mini skein set, which is a Mina Phillip design that she did last year.
Yes.
And it's really lovely. And hers, she actually used the Wonderland yarns, the mini skein kit, for hers as well. So we've got a bunch of that in stock, and we've got some really gorgeous, the Queen of Hearts yarn, which is their MCN yarn.
We'll link, if we remember, I'll try to link over my spring into summer shawl because it's gorgeous.
Yeah. Well, we can link to Carol's too.
We'll link to Carol's too.
And we also will link to their yarns on our website, so you can check out what they've got. But I don't know where they get their yarn from. It's really lovely, so soft. The mini skein kits that we have, the fingering weight are their Cheshire Cat, which is 100% superwash merino, and we have some of the Cheshire Cat in other colorways as well, just full skeins, and it's really lovely, super soft, great for shawls.
Fun to work with.
So that's what I started, and I was cruising along on it, and then you'll see on my next project why I stopped cruising on it. Not a bad thing.
I was gonna say, has it been a rough knitting week for
everybody?
No, just me. Okay.
Unfortunately, sorry, just you. No, some of it too is you guys probably don't care, but so I injured my knee pretty badly like a year and a half ago, and I had some scar tissue and stuff in there, but it's finally starting to get to the point where I can start running again. So I started running. So that takes out like an hour to 2 hours of my day.
That darn exercise.
I know, that darn exercise, because I go out and run, and then I come back, and I a lot of times will do other cardio or workout stuff or weights, because I love lifting weights. I don't, not to like get big and bulky or anything, but just I love it. Or do some yoga or something like that. So it's good. It's good because it's great for stress, which I've been having a lot of stress lately because I'm trying to we've got big events coming up for the store that I'm trying to keep everything lined up for, and then I'm going out of town, so I'm trying to do my own personal stuff, getting everything lined up, making sure all of our bills are paid and things like that, getting my house clean because my mom is staying in it, and then I'm doing the same thing for the store, making sure everything's lined up and paperwork is done and everything else. So and that anything that these guys need to know while I'm gone is under control, and I've laid everything out for them. So
she just doesn't want us making executive decisions while she's
gone. I don't care about that at all. I don't care about that at all. But you guys, I mean, because Ange and Jen, they have their own careers, so they're not here during the week.
Yeah.
They're going to be here on the weekend for Worldwide Knit and Public Day, and so we've got 3 part-timers who are covering the basic work week while I'm gone. Carol's picking up some more time, and then I've got 2 other people that are working kind of their normal schedules. So it's it's a little bit hard to kind of keep because not everybody schedules overlap. So we have to be really good about sending emails and writing people notes to let each other know what's going on. Yeah. So it's interesting, and I've gone away for a long weekend since the store opened, but that's about it. I'm going to be gone for 10 days, so it's going to be totally fine because these guys are still here. So if anybody has questions, they can send them an email or to call them or whatever. But I'm just, trying to get all the ducks for everything lined up. So
a lot of work. on top of 2 pretty big events coming up
Yeah.
right before you go.
Yeah.
So
I know. I was like, what's the timing of this thing, man?
who planned this?
I know. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not complaining. It's just one of those things like trying to make sure that everything is
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. Awesome. So you look like you've got some other stuff there in your lab
So-
that you haven't talked about yet.
Yeah, so the only other thing that I've got is I talked to you guys about the spinning project that I was doing, and I brought in a bobbin that I had done, and this is the fiber that I was using. It's Spunky Eclectic Falkland fiber, and it's hand dyed by Amy.
She's doing a class.
She is, so she's going to be over in the Waitsfield area, which is up over the mountain from us, at
the Woolery.
at the Woolery, Bad River Woolery and Mill over there. And so she's doing a couple different spinning classes over there, and I've taken some private lessons with her. She's great, and she does some fun colors. So this is her fiber, and I've got a sweater's quantity of her fiber. Yeah, so I was in a quandary trying to decide what I was going to do, and I showed you guys this fiber, and I spun a sample of this just as is, and then I also took some and blended it so that it was more homogeneous. So this is what the fiber turned into as when I did the Rolags, where I blended the fiber, and it's pretty. It's nice. It's kind of a little bit of a marled brown, and it's nice. But then, and I thought this was the route that I was going to want to go, and I'm good to still knit this up so that I can see it knit. But the thing that I realized is I have some fiber that's naturally colored, not dyed like this, that's almost the same color.
Okay.
And I have a sweater's quantity of that too. So I was like, well, it's a lot more work that I'm going to have to put into this. And it seems a shame to kind of just take something that's dyed purposefully and blend it so that you have something that's just more of a solid type brown.
Yeah.
So I have a little ball because I'm knitting up a swatch, and I'll show you the swatch. So it made this really fun marled yarn.
That is fun.
I didn't do anything special. I just when I was spinning it, I just pulled off a hunk and was spinning it. And this is
Oh, wow.
what it comes out like knit.
Wow.
So isn't that fun? So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm gonna separate out the dark, the medium, and the light colors out of this, and put them in a little pile, and then spin a 3-ply. So this is a 3-ply yarn, and separate them so that when I put them together, there'll be a dark strand, a medium strand, and a light strand. So what that's going to look like is more of this section here, except there's going to be more light because there's a lot of light here. So the way that it ended up spinning out when I plied it is a lot of the lights were together, and then it kind of almost did a gradient, which is kind of cool anyway too. But I think I'm going to have it more so it's just a true marl. So you'll have like the 3 strands, like the light, the medium, and the dark,
Cool.
Which will be kind of more in this color palette here, I think. But
That's
that's fun?
super cool. It's amazing how different it looks spun up and
Yeah,
knit up, because
I
when
know,
we
right?
were looking at this last week, I was like, oh, you got to do the brown.
I know, right?
But now that I see that, I'm like,
Yeah.
No.
And I'm knitting like a huge swatch because I had and I can always pull this apart if I need it for the project, but I don't think I will because I've got a lot of fiber. So yeah, I'll hold it closer so you guys
And
can
the
see it.
pattern you were going to knit that out of Georgetown really would lend itself to that marling.
Yeah, because it's a
very
very
plain,
simple, no frills kind of cardigan. And I was like, I would love to just have something that has that kind of fun marled look to it.
Yeah.
So that's my hand spun that I did. It's not super even, but doing a 3-ply hides a lot of stuff, which is nice. And I haven't washed this yet, obviously, because it's still on the needles. Well, it's not obvious, but and it's rolling. But so I just did a quick gauge to see if it was going to be close, and it's almost spot on.
Nice.
So I don't think this is going to move much after it hits the water. So I'm very hopeful. I'm knitting this on a 7, which is what the pattern called for.
Nice.
So I'm pretty much spot on. So
Awesome.
as long as I stay consistent in my spinning. But that's the nice thing. Like, I'm just going to take a piece of this, and you keep that next to your wheel, so you have a gauge to hold your yarn up against too while you're working with it. So yeah, I
Awesome.
was just so thrilled with that, and it's going to be a lot less work because then it just means I have to sit down and spin it, so I won't have to blend
Nice.
it first. So yeah, and this is super soft. So
That's nice.
isn't that nice?
Super nice.
So, and the nice thing is because the Georgetown used the Quince & Co. owl, and so I have some owl in stash. So it was kind of nice because I could have it like with me when I was spinning. So I kind of knew about how thick I was gonna have to spin it, and it is woolen spun. I love doing woolen spun long draw. I'm like. and pulling it back, it's so much faster than I have never been much for worsted spinning, the little inchworm so spinners are going to know what I'm talking about. Sorry for anybody that's thinks this is the most boring thing on earth. I'm almost done. So worsted spinning is where you make a really nice smooth, so if you use Quince & Co., if you guys are familiar with Quince & Co., like the Lark, that's a nice worsted spun. It has great stitch definition, and is a really nice, durable, strong yarn. The owl is more woolen spun. It's fuzzier, loftier. It's going to trap air. It's going to be lighter, but still very warm. So that's the kind of yarn that I was going for, and that's what you get when you do a long draw. So that's what I did. And,
Cool.
I'm really pleased with it. So
That'll be fun.
Yeah, I can't wait. Ooh, and if you guys don't know this little trick, when you're doing a swatch, you can do little eyelets so you know what size your needle is.
Yeah.
So I did 7 little eyelets, so I know I used a size 7 needle. So you just do a yarn over, knit 2 together 7 times. So then if you save your swatches for whatever reason, which I a lot of times do unless I need the yarn to finish up a project, which is not very often because I usually have enough yarn, then you'll know what side you did your swatch on.
Nice.
So just a fun little tip trick.
Handy.
Yep. So that's what
handy.
this is why I didn't have an FO, because I finished the yarn, I finished spinning it, and then I plied it. I let it sit overnight because that's typically what you do, so that it helps the twist kind of settle in on the bobbin, and then I plied it, and then I washed my skeins and let them dry, and it only took a day.
It's been pretty nice here.
It's been nice. So, and then as soon as they were dry, I washed them and put them dry yesterday morning, and then I got home last night. I ran downstairs. I didn't get home until 7:30, 8 o'clock, and that was the first thing I did. I wanted to check them, and well, it wasn't. I took care of all my critters first, and then we talked about dinner. But while dinner was cooking, I ran downstairs and grabbed the skeins, and I'm like, yes, they're dry. So as soon as we were done eating dinner, which was 8:30, I cast this on so I could see what it was going to work out like.
Nice.
I know.
I like it.
I do too.
Super fun.
I do too. So
Super fun.
that's what I've been working on.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
What else you been working on?
That's it.
That's it.
That's all I got.
Oh.
I cleaned out my
Gotcha.
yarn closet yesterday. I have
Nice.
a lady that is a declutter specialist I've been having come in, and we've been sort of
Working through.
working through various closets. So it was funny. The closet where some of my yarn part. Some people who are not knitters would be like, this is where all of her yarn is. Nah, not really. We got to the yarn section, and she was like, all right, should we go through it? And I was like, nope, the yarn's fine. She goes, do you regularly go through it? I was like, yep, I was in it just this last week. It's fine. We just need to reorganize how it's going. Hands off my yarn. Not getting rid of any of
I
this.
break out your fingers.
Yeah.
You touching my yarn.
But the rest of the closet looks amazing. And everything's been reorganized, and a whole garbage bag full of stuff to throw away went out. Stuff sometimes I wonder why do I keep this stuff? Something's broken.
know.
But instead of actually literally throwing it in the trash, you just put it in the closet.
I'll take care of this later.
I'll take care of it later. No,
Yeah.
you don't. And then like
You don't.
5 years later, it's still there.
With like a whole bunch of other stuff that was like,
Yeah.
oh, I'll just put this all together and then I'll take it all out.
Yeah. So there was a lot of that happening. Or like, why do I have 800 billion gift bags?
Uh-huh.
And some of them were like, it's like, just
Yeah.
get rid of them.
I know.
So I kept some. I may never have to buy a gift bag again. But whenever I give somebody a gift, what do? I don't go into the gift bag stash. I go to the store and buy a new one.
See, I'm pretty good about actually reusing a lot of the stuff that I save because I think some of it, especially where we live, the stores are further away, so it's not convenient just to, run 5 minutes into town.
Right.
I mean, that means running 20 minutes to a half hour into town.
Right.
To be able to give that. So a lot of times I like to have some of that stuff on hand just because I'm like, oh, shoot, I need a gift for so-and-so, and then I can just...
Well, now that mine are organized, I'm hopeful that I will. Well,
Yeah.
And I think the other problem with my gift bag stash is they're Christmas ones, which is fine. Baby ones.
Yeah.
And little kid ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's... Anyway, so I don't have some, like, grown-up ones.
Yeah. What I started doing is buying just solid color ones.
Oh,
and then you can use them for really any occasion. And then if you want to, like, decorate them a little bit,
With
you can. Or put a ribbon on it. Or
fancy
like,
tissue paper.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a really good idea, actually.
Yeah, because then the bags are a lot more universal for whatever, you know.
You mean you don't want a Star Wars bag? Thomas the Train?
Sure, why not? I don't care. I know for a while, like, all of the bags in my house were either wedding oriented or new baby oriented because I was in that stage of my life where all my friends were either getting married or having kids.
Yep.
And then I started realizing, I'm like, well, I don't have just any everyday stuff. So
that's actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
It's a super good idea.
Yeah.
You heard it here, folks. Okay, that's...
Sorry, but these are our tangents,
Absolutely.
You guys understand.
So that's what I've been up to.
Nice.
I haven't gotten a garden in at all this year yet.
Yeah.
Maybe this weekend. I don't know.
I knew that I was going to be gone kind of in the sweet spot of doing stuff, so I'm like, I don't know. I don't think it's
Well,
just
when
gonna
I
happen.
plant 500 too many tomato plants, I will trade you tomatoes for eggs. How's that?
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. Awesome.
Well, I'll just come over and we'll have like a canning party.
Sweet. Excellent. So I did have an acquisition this week.
You did? Okay.
So last week I won a $50 gift card to Amazon when I was at one of my seminar thingies that I had to go to.
Cool.
I know. And I had to use it quickly because if I don't use it quickly, it'll get sucked up in like my subscribe and save for like Diapers or something like
You're
that.
like, this should be something fun.
It is. So I got two things. One, I got a new case for my iPad that has a keyboard.
Oh, nice.
Because I've been doing more and more keyboardy type work, particularly when I'm editing the podcast and trying to do the little on the screen is getting really old. So
they are nice to have, yeah.
So that was acquisition number 1. Acquisition number 2.
Ooh, I was thinking about getting that.
Is the Vogue Knitting Ultimate Knitting Book.
Nice.
It's recently updated this. This is the brand new updated one that just got released in February of this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had it at Vogue Knitting Live. I think they had people were getting it.
In terms of like a comprehensive reference resource book for knitting, like this is it. I mean, this book is huge.
Yeah. The only thing it needs is spiral bound.
Yeah, so it'll lay flat.
Yeah. These knitting book companies, you should know this, people.
I know. But this,
we're working on them.
So this book has just resources for everything, supplies, techniques. It's got a section on cables, color knitting, lace knitting, circular knitting, directional knitting, how to correct errors, finishing. It's got a design section. They added I think the embellishment section is new. I know they've updated a lot of the information to track what's happening on the internet and how people are using resources online as well. And I've got lots of other reference books, but in terms of just like a global, all in one place. Plus, it's just beautiful, and it's done by Vogue, so the photography's great and the layout's great. And they have these, I don't know if you guys can see this, like the sections are color coded.
That's nice.
So you can find them easier. So that was my big acquisition. I kind of had my eye on it, and then I got that gift card, and I was like, oh. This retails for $39.95. It's a hefty book.
Yeah.
Worth every penny. So you can buy it directly from Vogue or Amazon. I got mine from Amazon because that's where I had the gift card. Yeah. You go where you got the money.
That's right.
So that was my acquisition this week, and it literally showed up in one day. I think I ordered it on Sunday, and it was here on Monday. And I was like, how did that happen?
I know. Sometimes, yeah.
Amazon's so weird. Sometimes
it is. It's like,
and other times you'll order something, like if I've ordered stuff on the weekends before, and it doesn't get here till like Wednesday, and I'm like, how is that 2-day shipping?
I know. I know.
Do you not count Monday?
It's funny how that works sometimes, but I'm usually not in any too big of a rush for anything.
I just realized that looked really kind of weird. It was a coffee. I had coffee in here,
and then I added water.
I'm not drinking pond water, I promise.
That's how our water is here up in Vermont.
That's why we're all big and strong. We'll drink that pond water.
Although I have iron in my water, so sometimes it looks kind of.
We don't have iron, but we have really hard water, lots of minerals. We have kaolin in our water. So we live just up the road was an old giant kaolin mine. Mm-hmm. So that's that white chalky stuff that's in kaopectate. So it's in my water. It leaves a white residue on everything.
Yep.
It's awesome.
Yeah, we've got pretty hard water too.
Yeah.
But we have iron in ours. And we have sulfur in ours too.
Ooh.
Yeah, fun.
Sulfur's the not fun one. But you used to it for a while, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, it's not super heavy, and it's weird depending on the seasons and like the flow of the water and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Most of the time, it's pretty mild. And we've got in our refrigerator, we've got the filter for the water that we drink, and so if you use that, you don't notice much of a sulfur smell.
Yeah.
And it's not as strong like my grandmother when we were growing up. Her water was really strong in sulfur smell, and you could really smell. Ours you can smell a little bit, but it's not really bad.
Yeah.
So
awesome. Well, not really awesome, but yay.
Yeah. Well, you know.
So we have a ton of events coming up.
Yes.
We're super excited about our Meet the Farmers event on June 2nd. Just as a quick reminder, that's going to start at 2 o'clock. We're going to have 2 trunk shows going on that day. Christy from Fiber Stash will be here. She's super excited. She can't wait to show everybody all of her yarns and what she's got going on. She's been dying like crazy for this event. Our other trunk show is with Green Mountain Spinnery, who are equally excited. We've been communicating with them. They're bringing hopefully some of their sock kits. They're going to bring some of the Mercury Rising shawl kits,
which Anne showed you guys her finished one last week.
I'll have it here in store so you can see that.
And Larissa's got a couple that she did in different colorways too, so you can see it.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Yeah, knit up in some really different fun, and it makes it look so different.
Yep. And so they're bringing some other yarns. It's mostly yarns that they don't wholesale,
which is kind of good because we carry a lot of their yarns.
Yeah.
We've got 4 different DKs from them, and then
the mountain
mohair, which is a worsted. So it's kind of nice because then it sells things that people may not necessarily know about because they're not sold in stores. Yeah. And they're beautiful, and it means that we get to buy stuff that we don't usually get to carry too.
Yes, which is awesome. So they're super excited and looking forward to coming up.
And our farmers are so excited.
Starting at 3 o'clock, we have the Meet the Farmers talk, which we'll be taping. We're not going to live stream it, but we'll tape it and we'll post it up one of the weeks when Kelly's gone, so all of you can see it as well. Should be awesome. Super cool. So that's June 2nd. June 9th is Worldwide Knit and Public Day. We're going to be doing a pretty low-key hangout on the front lawn from 11 to 2 with potluck style. Bring something to share. We'll have like sandwich fixins here. and a tent. We have a pop-up tent, probably rain or shine, just to make us a little more visible. So come, bring your chair, bring your kids, I was going to talk to Adam and see if I could talk Champ into coming, but that might be a little ridiculous. Maybe
Before
not.
there, I bet he would come.
Yeah, I'll shoot him an email.
He's told us that we could have him. He could come and wave and we can teach him how to knit.
I think that would be hilarious.
We'd have to have some giant needles for him, though. I don't know if he can hold them with his hands.
We have giant needles.
Yeah, but they're not very long.
All right. We don't need more. Anyway.
We can yarn bomb Champ.
Yes,
How
come
about that?
join us for Worldwide Knit Public Day, June 9th, from 11 to 2.
Ange and Jen will be here,
Yep.
and so you can say hi
Yep.
to them.
Yep.
I'm not going to be here. I'm going to be knitting in London.
Awesome. Check for Kelly in London if you're across the pond.
Yeah.
Come ping her. July 13th to 29th is the Great Northern Yarn Haul. So that's the Lake Champlain to Atlantic Ocean 22 shops?
20-something-ish.
20-something-ish. They're all listed up on the Ravelry group.
Ooh, and there's a Facebook page too, so.
Cool.
Did we link to those yet?
I just linked to the
the
Ravelry
Ravelry.
group.
Well, at least that's cool, because there's something there,
Yep.
so you guys can see
Yep.
all the different things.
July 14th, here in the shop all day, Donna Drukanis is going to be here teaching a Latvian colorwork mitten
Lithuanian.
class. Lithuanian, I can't read. Latvian.
They're close.
Lithuanian. Colorwork mitten class. It should be fantastic. It's $75 all day. Light lunches included. So check that out. That's also...
Yep, that's up on the website. There's a
Yep.
link in show notes so you can get all the details about what materials you need, and you can register for it there. And it's going to be a great class because she is really big into the history and the hows and the whys and what the different motifs mean, because in a lot of different cultures the motifs have significance, and so it's a knitting and history lesson and everything all in one, and it's going to be a really great class, and I'm probably going to take it too, just because it's really interesting with all the color work that people are doing right now. I think it'd be really fun to get a lot of the history, and I don't know a lot about Lithuanian knitting other than what I've seen from Donna, because she's done a lot in conjunction with that. She's spent a lot of time in the country in Lithuania. So if that's something that is of interest to you, it's a long day. It starts at 10:30 and it's going to go until about 5. So it's about 6 hours of knitting with a small break for lunch, but yeah. I'm excited for it.
Cool.
It's going to be awesome. So, and it's limited to 20 people. So if you want something you want to do, make sure you get registered for it.
Yep.
So.
Absolutely. We've got a few Knitalongs running right now. The first one is the Jody Shawl Knitalong, which is running through the end of May. I would suspect that we probably won't close the thread or get around to pulling prizes until the following week when we podcast. So, as always, if the thread is not locked, please continue to post. So that one's going to be coming to an end pretty soon.
We're going to try to sneak a podcast in that week before I go. It'll probably be a couple days earlier when we're recording it, so we'll probably close
the thread right before that
day.
So you'll get a few
probably
extra
Tuesday.
days.
We'll probably record.
Just saying.
So
Get your entries in.
yeah, you'll probably have an extra weekend, which might be helpful for you.
We also have the Shorty Suck Along going on, and that is running through June 17th, so we'll pull prizes for that right when we get back, when Kelly gets back from vacation.
You're coming too?
I know. You didn't know?
Hey,
Bob didn't tell you? No. Surprise! Just
You won't fit in my carry-on. I'm sorry.
Dang it. When Kelly gets back, and Green Mountain Spinnery very generously donated a prize for that. So Laura has a sock pattern and yarn to make her new sock.
So cute.
Which is super cute. So keep those entries coming. Already tons of entries. Folks are having fun with this one. And then finally, our summer t-shirt knit-along is running through the end of July. So check that out as well. Don't worry. I got some more knit-alongs in the works.
Oh boy. See, this is why I'm afraid to go away for 10 days. I don't know what I'm going to find when I get back.
Stay tuned. We've got a few more fun things coming up.
We do.
Yeah. And I started to make some notes on our show notes, so Kelly might be reading those right now. Not ready to announce them yet. But anyway.
All good ideas.
Okay. So stay tuned. We are going to be doing some giveaways during our Meet the Farmers event
On June 2nd.
On June 2nd.
Yep.
So
We've had some donations for that, so
really cool. We still have a few of the last seasons of our Mott box that are available.
we do.
So if you are interested in that, we showed at the last podcast. Take a look.
There's still some, yeah.
Linked in the show notes.
There's a couple of the teal line project bags still available, and then there's more of the pink, which is kind of what I assumed.
Yeah.
Blue is typically more of a popular color.
Yeah.
I like the pink.
We also have them out in the store now, so if you're local and you want to come see it in person, pop in, take a look.
Yep.
They're pretty cool.
They are.
So those are
Very
still available.
Yeah.
And you had some new yarn you wanted to show off.
So we have some new yarn in the store. So
Yeah.
it's from a company that we've carried a little bit of before. But Ba Yarn is a company, they're an indie dyeing company in California. And they have some really lovely yarn. We have some of their Sequoia in stock right now, which is a super bulky weight, hand dyed, and it's beautiful. So I think I might have shown that before. But we've got two new bases in from them. We've got their Savannah, which is their MCN base. So it's 80% superwash, 10% nylon, and 10%.
God, look at the colors on this.
And these are all, I didn't grab all of the colors. There are even more. Yeah, isn't that pink awesome?
That is pink.
And look at this. This is like the muscle of yarn color. It's like the teal, but it's a
love
lighter
it.
version with the gray.
Yeah.
I know. And look at this one. This one would go really fun with it because it's got those little pops with some gold in it. And so you could do those.
Even like
yeah.
those two
I know.
together.
So there's some really fun ones. There's just a really nice pale speckly one.
Oh,
There's a
super
gorgeous
cool.
blue. This is so soft,
love
this
that.
yarn too, and it's got a lovely twist to it. So it's really nice and soft. Oh, look at this one. This one's really fun. I don't know what I would do with it, but it's called Dragon Tail. Isn't that fun? And it's blowing out a little bit, but it is kind of bright too.
A little pink.
You could, because there's little pink pops in there. That'd be kind of fun for something.
Shawl of some sort.
So I didn't show all of those. I just grabbed a handful of those. But then we also have the Ba Yarn New York, which is a singles yarn, and I think I only brought in 5 of these. So there's a really pretty purple. There's a really pretty purples and blues and greens. And then there's a gray with some kind of fluorescent colors.
That's cool.
And there's a gray with pops of gold. That one's really pretty. I know. Yeah,
Oh, gorgeous.
and now look at this one. I love the names too. They've got some really fun names. This one's called Light My Sapphire. I love it. Isn't that pretty?
That's awesome.
So this one's called Raisin the Bar. I know, they're really fun. That one's Cozy, which I like it.
I like that one.
This one is Love Potion.
Nice.
Parlez-vous. So they've got some really fun, it's a great company, and they do some really lovely colorways and just some beautiful yarn. This yarn is so amazingly soft, this
Yeah.
MCN blend of yarn.
It's a 80-10-10.
Yeah, 80-10-10, yep. So we've got a lot of semi-solids in, so these do have just a little bit of tonality to them. But then we've got some kind of fun speckly ones too.
Yeah.
So a lot of great ones for shawls, or if you need some complementing semi-solids, these are great. And
Awesome.
the these guys. The
29.
singles are $29. The MCN are $35. They are all up on the website. I got everything photographed and entered in the system earlier. So they're there.
Cool. So check those out.
We will link to those in show notes too, so you can find those easily. But yeah, they've got some really, really fun yarns, and they've got the sales reps come with the swatches. They're like basically mini skeins, and they put them on a ring, and they're just like keep pulling these rings of swatches out, of colors out, and they're just all over the table, and you're like, oh my god, how do I choose? So yeah, it's hard not to say, oh, I'll just take one of everything, but
bag of everything.
So so that's Ba yarns, and we're carrying those.
Awesome.
And like I said, we've got a whole bunch of the Wonderland yarns, and actually some of the Wonderland colors would work well with these too. They'd all kind of play, because I brought in some of the speckly ones of the Wonderland, and they have a similar twist to this yarn.
So like if you were considering making the spring into summer shawl, you could get a solid of that and one of the
mini skein
kits from Wonderland.
Yep. Well. And we just restocked a ton of the mini skein kits. So if you're looking for some mini skeins, theirs are so soft. Carol finished her spring this summer, which we should have brought over with us. It is just gorgeous. It's stunning, and it blocked out beautifully. It's super soft. Their yarns are just lovely.
And the picks of the week from last week are still active. So one of those yarns was Round Mountain.
Round Mountain.
And I saw, sometimes with that type of yarn, it's really hard. Like, what do you knit out of it?
Yeah, the variegated yarns.
With the variegated yarn was working on Hitchhiker.
Oh,
and it was beautiful. So, something just simple
like that.
That will showcase those yarns so amazingly.
Yeah. I know one of the classes I'm taking this fall, I'm going to the Webb's Retreat again this fall, and one of the classes I'm taking is how to purposefully use those yarns, like the math behind it, so that you can get them to do patterning that you want. And then another one of the classes I'm taking is how to purposefully interrupt those yarns so that you don't get like pooling and flashing and stuff like that. So I'm really excited for those.
That'll be amazing.
So
nice.
Yeah.
Super fun.
I know. So
super fun.
Yeah. So I think that's all I've got for this week.
That's all I've got. I mean, I could go on and on about lots of other stuff, but
Yeah. Well, me too, but we already did some of that, so you guys probably don't want any more of that.
I know. Yeah, but a bit more.
My chicken is still being
broody.
Persnickety broody. She tries to peck me now.
Ooh. Well, you knew that was coming.
It's fine. It's fine, and
you have to use your ninja skills.
I know. Well, I did, because she was like looking at my right hand, so I go in with my left hand and then block her so she can't get my right hand, and then I go underneath and pluck her out. Don't worry, Mom. When you're taking care of her, you won't have to deal with that. You can just let her sit there. I don't care. You just reach under her, take the eggs, and
Kelly's a chicken ninja.
Yeah. And if she pecks me, it's not a big deal. I actually have some gloves sometimes that I can wear, but so that if she bites, it's not as intense. But she's not super serious about it. She just gets really angry. So then I take her out. I dethrone her, and she puffs up. She gets really mad.
I have a cat like that.
Really?
She'll bite you if she's unhappy, but she doesn't really sink her teeth in.
She just puts her teeth on you.
She just kind of puts her teeth on you.
Yeah.
And you're like, really? That's all you got? Okay. It's my old cranky cat.
Is it?
Yeah. She's actually less cranky now that we don't have a dog, so she's probably not a dog lover.
No. She tolerates the kittens. Well,
they
they're not really kittens, but
mostly leave her alone.
Do they?
Yeah. They mostly
know what's good for them.
They mostly pick at each other.
Yeah.
So, like the siblings they are. That was a swell move. Litter mates. Yes.
She's touching me.
You can see it. They're cats, and they still are. Stop touching me. Stop touching me. Stop looking at me. Cats, it's more stop looking at me.
Yeah. I'll look at you side-eye.
Okay. I have three indoor cats, if you're wondering. So they're fun. One's like 15 and the other are 2.5. So it's really exciting.
And 2 children.
And 2 children, and hopefully in the not so distant future, a dog. So it's always never a dull moment in my house.
Yeah.
Apparently, I don't need any help tangling my yarn. I've got plenty of other people and things to do it for me.
They can do it for you, yeah.
But I still manage
Yeah.
to tangle my yarn myself.
I know.
Yay me. So,
Well,
all right.
if you're going to do it right, there's only one person who can do it really the best, and that's you, right?
Yep. Yes. And I have to go.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
It's that time.
So we'll see you guys next week.
We will. Thanks for joining us, and
Bye. Yeah. So
Oh
that.
my God.
So that was my up and down. I was all excited, and then like, oh well, it's okay. It's not like I don't have other stuff to work on.
Yeah.
This will give me some time to maybe get some of these things advanced along before I want to go start a new project.
Before you want to cast on all the new things.
All the new things.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I hear ya.
So, yeah.
I couldn't remember where I was last time, and I wanted to put my little cute marker on. So then after I show it today, I'm going to put it on.
Very cool.
Because I was like, where the heck was I? I'm like, I have no idea.
I
So
don't know.
it's just going to, to jazz up my brown yarn.
My brother's going to Amsterdam for a conference.
Oh.
And I may or may not have texted him and been like, so this is a really cool yarn store if you have any extra time. He actually texted
Send
me.
him to Stephen and
Yeah,
Penelope.
he actually texted me back and he was like, that looks cool. Is there something in particular you want?
Aw,
I know, isn't he sweet?
that's
And
really
I was like,
cool.
no, not really.
It's so cute. So, Jessie from Knit Group,
Mhm.
she's going to Paris,
Oh, she's gonna
and
go to
France for her daughter's 40th birthday.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, are you going to
Gonna
La
come in
Bien
there.
me?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "Yeah." She's like, that was the one thing I told them when we were on our way back for the airport. She's like, it's not that far from where, there's only like 13 minutes away from where they have to go for the airport. And she's like, do you want anything? Is there anything I can bring you? I'm like, that's really sweet, but I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm like, it's all beautiful, so just enjoy it.
I know.
I know, it's one of those things that,
I have to go to New Jersey for a thing in July, and I was scoping out whether Do You Knit was going to be open. What are their hours on Sunday? 'Cause
fun. Yeah, they do some fun indie dye yarn.
yeah, and just it's always fun to go into new shops and
shops.
check out like
Yeah.
kits and just like what are they doing and
Yeah. Definitely.
yeah.
Very cool. Right there, I got the little guy on there. I know whenever I go anywhere, like, well, I've already been scoping out the yarns in England. The yarn stores.
I knew what you meant.
There's quite a few around.
Is there?
Which, I mean, obviously it's England, so you kind of, the land of sheep.
Well, but there's some stuff that's not as easy to get here, like I was gonna say Jameson, but that's the alcohol.
Well, there is the Jameson Smith. Yeah.
And Blacker yarn.
Blacker.
Yeah.
But see, the thing is that the Woolly Thistle over
yeah.
in New Hampshire, she
Yeah.
is really great about getting a lot of those yarns in, and so I mean, we can get them easier now than we could.
Yeah.
So there are some though. There, one of the yarn stores I was looking at that's in the Cotswolds, they actually have some that's specifically from a farm. It's a small batch. So I was like,
Cool.
that's the kind of thing that I want to go.
Yeah.
I want to get like
Go check out
some blacker yarns and stuff like that too. But because
Right.
I can get those more easily here in the
Right.
States, I
Right.
definitely want to try to get more of
The stuff you
the farm
can't get.
yarn type
Cool.
yarns.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah. So I've been scoping that out.
Nice.
I know there's quite a few nice shops sprinkled around. So I'll of course hit up Loop in London. So that'll be fun.
Most excellent.
I know.
So are we ready?
Yep.
Okie dokie.
Ready.
Ready.
I'm kind of warm, but
I know I got sunny outside.
yeah.